We're going to have a briefing here just because there's so much interest in what's going on, and the order will be I'll start it off, and then Dr. Martha White will be next, and then the Parish Commission, Erica Bryant, it will be next, and then the Mayor of Shreveport will finish us up. Then we'll have questions, and I think the media knows how to text those questions to us. And like I say, we're not all grouped up here together because we want you to see that it's just as important to us as it should be to you. I want you to listen very closely to what I have to say and take what I have to say very seriously. We wouldn't be going to all this trouble. We wouldn't be coming together like this. We wouldn't be doing all that we're doing as governmental agencies to do this just for fun or just for a hobby or just for something to do. This is extremely serious. The governor has issued an emergency declaration, as you all know by now. It's not optional. Law enforcement is not going to be riding around and trying to catch you ganging up more than 10 people or having a business open that's not essential. We're not going to be trying to catch you do that. However, these things are not optional, and there are penalties if you decide to violate this. The penalties are handled under two different statutes, and I'm asked about this quite often. The reason I'm mentioning it is not to scare people or to threaten people or anything, but I'm asked quite often, and I've gotten many calls, what are you going to do if? And so I want to tell you, law enforcement and the fire marshal and the state police and the agencies that are so designated, we have the ability to write citations or to arrest someone under two different statutes. One is the disturbing the peace statute, and the other one is under RS 29724, which doesn't mean much to anybody that not in this business, but both of those carries penalties of up to $500 fine and up to 6 months in jail. But that's not to say that if you're driving down the street, you're going to get stopped, and if you can't prove where you were going to the grocery store or to the doctor's office or something like that, that we're going to cite you or arrest you, and all of a sudden you're looking at 6 months in jail. We all know that's ridiculous. But we do know that that possibility or that option does exist for law enforcement if people don't take what we're saying seriously. This is a very serious situation. We're there for you. All law enforcement is there for you. We'll help any way possible. And we've got a lot other things than to stop groups of people that are somewhere and start counting heads to see if there's 10 folks there. We're not going to be doing that. So just take it serious yourself. Govern yourself. Police yourself. And then nobody has to get involved. We get many calls about restaurants that might still be open, or too many people that are gathered together, and we get these type calls, and we're working them out between the police department and the sheriff's office. We're working them out, and people are complying, and we appreciate that very, very much. The idea of a curfew has come up. The sheriff can issue a curfew. Of course, the governor can. In instances, the mayor can issue a curfew. That there is no curfew that exists right now in Caddo Parish. There are a few parishes that have a curfew, but right now in Caddo Parish and in Shreveport, there is no curfew. So I want to answer that question because that's been asked quite a few times. The fact of if anybody wants to really read the governor's proclamations, and you ought to go to the Caddo Parish Sheriff's website. It's got a listing of all the proclamations. It's got the essential businesses and descriptions and definitions, and there's a lot of interpretation that you can make for yourself. I've gotten many calls about am I an essential business, or people maybe trying to convince you that they're an essential business. And all I do is point them to that website and tell them read it and judge for yourself and determine if you're an essential business or not. This is it's kind of like the honor system. The more serious we take this, the quicker we're going to be through with it. Okay, that's just, there's no question about that. I think that everybody in this room and everybody that has anything to do with this knows that if we will take this seriously, if we will practice social distancing and washing our hands and taking care of ourselves and strict enforcement of what the governor has suggested, in fact, the governor has ordered, then we will be through this. Dr. White?
Hello, I'm Dr. Martha White from the Office of Public Health in Region 7 Shreveport area. Just wanted to talk to you today about where we're standing with the outbreak in our area. As some of you may have seen, our numbers have definitely increased in the last couple of days. We don't want you to be afraid about that. We knew we had a lot of tests that were outstanding that were coming back kind of in a group setting, and we have gotten lots of numbers back, lots of lab back for us to increase those numbers. We've had a lot of negatives as well as a lot of positives. But since our numbers have climbed so high so quickly, we are going to change kind of our direction in public health. And we are going to say that we have community-acquired disease. And what that means is what we've been saying all along, but we're really trying to reinforce. We need to consider that anyone that you come in contact with may be carrying the virus. We need to treat each other as if you have the virus and the person you're coming into contact with has the virus. If you do that, we know that the people that you're around, you're going to say, I don't want to give them what I have, and I don't want to get what they have. We'll keep that distance, and we'll go a long way towards flattening out our curve. I think what the sheriff said is very important, because we really need people to practice their true social responsibility. Every one of us has a responsibility to this community to do all that they can to try to end this epidemic. We know that if we do these practices, that we can flatten that curve and we'll be able to reduce these restrictions a lot sooner. Stay inside, practice your hand hygiene, your face hygiene, keeping your hands off your face, making sure that if you cough or sneeze, you cover your mouth and nose. Making sure that if you're sick, you stay home. When you're home and you're sick, you keep other people away from you. You want to keep that 6-foot distance no matter what. If that means that you're married, maybe perhaps your spouse needs to sleep in another bed until you're both well. We're talking about truly thinking about how can you distance yourself from this disease. If we all work together, we can truly see a difference in this pattern relatively quickly. The more we don't, the more we gather in groups, the more we say it doesn't, it's not meant for me. I can go to church, I can have parties at my home, or get married and have a big wedding. We've had funerals, all kinds of events that are going on, and those all really truly need to stop. We need to limit the number of people that we're gathering really truly to that less than 10, and especially keeping that 6-foot distance.
Good afternoon. I'm Erica Bryant. I'm the Assistant Parish Administrator. I am coming to you today on behalf of the Caddo Parish Commission. We just want to provide you some updates since the governor has issued a stay-at-home order. The Commission would like to stress that we know that this is a difficult time, and any decisions that we have made are just out of an abundance of caution for Caddo Parish citizens as well as our employees. And so the following updates we'll provide. Parish services in Government Plaza will continue to be processed by phone, online, and email. The 8th floor of Government Plaza is closed. The Caddo Parish Courthouse has reduced public access hours from 8 to 1 p.m., primarily for marriage licenses and protective orders. Parish health units remain open to the public. All park facilities are closed. This includes trails, playgrounds, and boat launches. Parish compactor sites will begin to operate on reduced hours. A full list of hours can be found on the parish's website at caddo.org. For animal services, Caddo Parish Animal Services is closed to the public. Adoptions and lost pet returns may be scheduled by appointment only through our website or dialing 226-6624. Citizens are encouraged to view adoptable and lost animals via our website. Animal control officers are responding to emergency calls only. The shelter will continue virtual hours and will make any adjustments through appointments as necessary, and you can review our website and our social media pages for any updates. Again, the Commission would just like to stress that this is a very serious issue. It's a difficult time, but we hope that all citizens can comply with the government's orders. Thank you.
Afternoon. As was already covered yesterday, Governor John Bel Edwards issued a stay-at-home order that goes into effect today at 5:30 p.m. Monday, March 23rd. COVID-19 poses a serious risk to our community, and we all have to do our part by abiding by that order. We know that staying home can and will save lives. It will save lives. If you have to go out, just remember to keep a safe distance from anybody else, that's 6 feet distance. Also, do not gather in more than 10 people, any gatherings more than 10 people as well. And as the sheriff pointed out, the sheriff's office and Shreveport Police Department